Long Yu brought Xianxia and entered the Fire Devil Valley, which also caused Long Yu to heave a sigh of relief. There were no guards at the entrance of Fire Devil Valley, so it did not look very tight. The entire Fire Devil Valley was not very big, and could only hold around 100,000 people. Long Yu had said before that there were not many people in the infernal realm. Miss Long Yu, do you have any alchemist experts in hell? After Xianxia entered the valley, he had to find something to do. As an alchemist, he would obviously need to find some medicine shop to go around. Yes, there were 2 or 3 in the Fire Devil Valley, but they were usually in closed doors. What, you want to find them to refine pills? If you have enough Tao Creation Divine Crystals, they will help you refine pills as well. Long Yu said, but don't put all your hopes on this. Although pills can help people improve in the infernal realm, pills are extremely precious. I know that the environment in the infernal realm is vile. It is difficult to grow medicinal herbs. There definitely won't be that many medicinal herbs for alchemy. Xianxia was a little surprised. He fucking thought that there really was an alchemist in the infernal realm. No, there are many strange herbs in hell. You've already seen the infernal lava before. The infernal lava itself is formed from energy. Long Yu argued, the infernal realm only does not emit any energy. However, it will hide itself in the ground, or perhaps concentrate itself in a certain region, so there are quite a few rare medicinal ingredients here. Fire Devil Valley is a very small place. If you go there, you will understand. Xianxia felt that hell was becoming more and more strange. Are all the alchemists here powerful? Xianxia asked again. Of course they're powerful. The majority of the alchemists that can come here are those people who have nowhere to go. It can be seen that their skill level is not low. As Long Yu and Xianxia walked in the Fire Devil Valley, it attracted a lot of attention. It was mainly because of the qi on Xianxia's body, which was out of place with the place. If we had known earlier, we would have disguised ourselves before coming in. Long Yu did not get used to it no matter how many people looked at her. She used to wear a mask. Xianxia didn't mind, because Long Yu had said before that the Fire Devil Valley was very safe. There are many Saint Crystal lode in this place. As long as you can find them, you can dig them up any time you want. Long Yu said softly as he led Xianxia to a big inn. Just as they arrived at the tavern's entrance, Long Yu and Xianxia saw a large group of people dressed in purple light armor walk out. These people looked very rude and unreasonable. The tavern's owner did not even dare to speak loudly when he saw them. This woman cultivated world-defying stage divine source. How can she mix with such a man? The leader, a purple-armored man, stared at Xianxia and Long Yu. His name was Ling Yanghong, and he was the leader of the Purple Demon Conglomerate. Xianxia had seen the situation where the Wind Demon Group was not afraid of Long Yu, so he was not surprised to see them acting so arrogantly in front of Long Yu. All of you, get out of the way, Long Yu shouted coldly. Yo! A woman with a good personality. Ha ha ha. Ling Yanghong laughed sinisterly, sweeping Long Yu up and down with a frivolous manner. Come, beat me up. Long Yu could not hit her, otherwise she would be sensed by the mysterious power and would be immediately teleported away. Xianxia saw that Long Yu was angry, but did not say anything. Previously, when Long Yu came, he said that this place was not bad, but not long after, she was angered by the second wave of people. Who are you people? Aren't you afraid that I'll put a bounty on you? Long Yu was enraged. He clenched his fists. We are the Purple Demon Group, the famous Purple Demon Group. Have you never heard of it? You must have just come here. Did you bring this kid down from above? It looks delicious and its smell is very proper. Ling Yanghong looked at Xianxia and licked his lips. Alright, Purple Demon Group, you guys keep that in mind. Long Yu had already decided to use a large amount of Tao Creation Divine Crystals to reward them. We're not afraid of the bounty, so we kill as many as we can. We were just worried that no one would come find us. Ha ha ha. Ling Yanghong laughed, and the other team members behind him also laughed along. Long Yu was so angry that her entire body was trembling. She started to feel that hell was not a good place for her. At least she could not release her anger as much as she liked. If she did not cultivate world-defying stage divine source, she would have already started fighting with the people in front of her. Ling Yonghong was not afraid of the bounty because even though Long Yu had offered a high bounty, the strongest person chasing after him was only slightly stronger than him, and their entire purple demon conglomerate was very strong, so he was not afraid. Furthermore, he liked to provoke those who could cultivate the world-defying stage divine source, not to mention that Long Yu was an ice mountain beauty. Chen Xiang, on the other hand, didn't mind. After all, Ling Yonghong didn't directly target him. Furthermore, he was not very familiar with Long Yu either, and did not get angry because of Long Yu. Long Yu pulled on Chen Xiang's clothes, and angrily led Chen Xiang to avoid this group of people from the purple demon conglomerate. Chen Xiang felt that this Fire Devil Valley was not that safe. If they met someone who was shameless and did not fear death, no one would be able to do anything to them. Halt! Ling Yonghong was even stronger than him. What are you guys doing? Long Yu shouted. We want to eat this brat. Name a price and sell him to me. Ling Yonghong looked down and laughed sinisterly. Wishful thinking. Long Yu was infuriated. But she could not do anything as she could not do anything. This was the first time she felt that the restrictions on people who could cultivate world-defying stage divine source in the infernal realm was extremely difficult. Chen Xiang's expression turned cold. This group of people were finally going to provoke him. You don't want to sell it, do you? That's even better. We'll just directly snatch it, haha. Ling Yonghong laughed sinisterly and came in front of Chen Xiang. Look at your righteous aura. But what's the use? You are much weaker than us fiendish demons. Tonight, you are our food. Ling Yonghong rubbed his hands, signaling to the others to surround Chen Xiang. I hate upright people like you the most. To actually come to the infernal realm, you should be avoiding death. Ha ha ha. Truly laughable. Ling Yonghong laughed. What the hell is it to you that I'm here? Are you an overlord of the infernal realm? A scoundrel like you. Don't even mention eating me. You're not even qualified to touch me. Chen Xiang was not afraid of this group of purple demons. Since the other party had already stepped out of bounds, there was no need for him to hold back. What an arrogant kid. He sure tastes good when he eats it. Although I am not the overlord of hell, I am the overlord of Fire Devil Valley. Fire Devil Valley's fire demon group has already been eliminated by us. I hate the way you look at me. I hate the way you look at me when you're so high and mighty in front of me. I want you to kneel down. Ling Yonghong really couldn't stand Chen Xiang's current expression. He waved his hand and had the other team members surround him. The people of Fire Devil Valley knew that the purple demon conglomerate was causing trouble and surrounded them. They were not afraid of the fierce battles that broke out here, because in their eyes, Chen Xiang did not have any chance to resist. Although Long Yu had cultivated the world-defying stage divine source, she could not do anything. Long Yu was extremely anxious in her heart. She could not bring Chen Xiang along either. The purple demon group was much stronger than the wind devil group. She could not rush out without using her own world-defying stage divine source. But once she used it, she would be teleported elsewhere. What if I don't kneel? Chen Xiang said coldly. Then I will hit you until you kneel. Ling Yonghong said in a cold voice. I'll give you a chance. If you kneel down, I won't even bother to do anything anymore. I'll shout 3 times. 1, 2. Just as Ling Yonghong was shouting, an elderly suddenly rushed in. Ling Yonghong, you've caused enough trouble. The old man's hair was in a mess. His red clothes were tattered. Although he was reeking of evil qi, he had rushed out to stop Ling Yonghong, showing that he was a good person. Old Hua, you haven't killed yourself? Ha ha ha. If I don't kill you, I'll just leave you with your dog life, causing you to commit suicide in humiliation. I find this method of death very satisfying. When Ling Yonghong saw the old man, he laughed wickedly. Are you jumping out to protect this boy? When I first established the Fire Devil Valley, it was to give everyone a comfortable environment. Ever since you guys arrived, the Fire Devil Valley has never been at peace. As long as I still have one breath, I will definitely stop you guys from bullying others. The old fire demon spoke with righteousness and caused Chen Xiang to secretly admire him. Long Yu had told Chen Xiang before that many of the people in the infernal realm were villains who deserved to die. The wind demon group and the purple demon group were the same, But the fire demon in front of them was a very good old man. Xianxia had already made the best preparations to take action. Not to mention the other party wanting him to kneel, even if he had to lower his head, he would absolutely not compromise. Lao! Xianxia originally wanted to let the fire devil retreat, but he didn't think that Ling Yanghong would take a step forward. With a wave of his long blade, the quick blade chopped off the arm of the fire demon, and then smashed onto the chest of the fire demon, knocking the fire demon down to the ground. Ling Yanghong stomped his foot on the flame devil's face, and said with a cold laugh, "Old fellow, you still think that I didn't abuse you enough last time, right? Brat, quickly kneel down." Ling Yanghong pointed his blade at Xianxia. "If you dare look at me again, I will dig out your eyes. You evil demon. I think you are dirty. This evil demon of yours is not worthy for me to see. Even if you have a person's body, I would still feel that it is insulting. Let me tell you, even if you want to kneel to me, you are not qualified, and the evil demon is not worthy to be in my eyes." Xianxia had already reached out and grabbed Ling Yanghong's purple-colored long blade. Red and black-colored scales overflowed from his hand, then turned into dragon claws. "There's something inside this kid's body. There's a dragon." Ling Yanghong was shocked and anxiously shouted, "Quickly take him down. We have dragon meat to eat." As soon as Ling Yanghong finished speaking, Xianxia grabbed his long blade and pulled with great force, pulling Ling Yanghong over. His other hand also turned into a dragon claw, the tip of the claw converging, its sharp claws piercing straight towards Ling Yanghong's abdomen. With a walala sound, Xianxia's dragon claw directly pierced into Ling Yanghong's abdomen. And then, it erupted with a scorching dragon aura that poured into Ling Yanghong's entire body. Ling Yanghong was already wearing purple armor, but's dragon claw had pierced through his body in an instant. Ling Yanghong was the leader of the purple demon conglomerate, the strongest and the most vicious, yet he had been beaten to a pulp. Xianxia fiercely pulled back the dragon claw. He grabbed onto Ling Yanghong's incomparably pitch-black heart that was emitting an evil aura. Ling Yanghong held onto his chest and lay on the ground, twitching with a face full of fear. He did not die. His body was being enveloped in scorching dragon flames, which was currently wreaking havoc throughout his body, causing him to feel as if countless hot nails had pierced into his body. Xianxia released 2 clones and locked onto the people from the purple demon conglomerate. Then, with a loud roar, he borrowed the power of the scarlet dragon that was slaughtering the people from his body to release an extremely strong scorching pressure that fiercely pressed onto the bodies of the evil demon group. In the moment of impact, all of the evil demons turned into black ashes and were pressed into black ashes. "Senior, are you all right?" Xianxia took out the rebirth powder and smeared it on the fiery demon's severed arm. He then picked up the other arm and connected it with it, quickly healing it. The onlookers swallowed their saliva. In an instant, all of the purple fiends had been defeated. Aside from the captain, the rest had already been reduced to ashes. Long Yu looked at the struggling Ling Yanghong on the ground and sneered, "You reckless fool! Do you regret this now? Humph, you have fled to hell with great difficulty to avoid death and vengeance. Yet instead of cherishing this chance to live properly, you are now committing evil deeds everywhere. You no longer have the chance to regret your actions." Long Yu also felt extremely comfortable in her heart, and Xianxia's strength had once again made her see him in a new light. She felt that if Xianxia really cultivated the world-defying stage divine source, then Golden Fire Arrogant Lord would probably not be his match. "Xianxia, how are you going to deal with him?" Long Yu said. "He is not dead yet, although he is being tormented like this. I hope that he can die in a more painful manner." Xianxia walked over, bent down, and looked at Ling Yanghong's face filled with fear. At this time, he had already completely experienced Xianxia's power, and he was extremely regretful in his heart, regretting that he did not provoke Xianxia. "I remember you saying that I had a righteous aura around me, right? All right, I'll teach you the evil side of me right now." Xianxia sneered. His eyes suddenly turned red, and he forced out a black mist from his hands. When the black mist appeared, the surrounding people started shivering. The black mist released an evil killing intent, causing them to feel extremely uneasy. Although they were all cultivators of the evil spirit Qi, they were still far from Xianxia's. Killing evil dragon Qi, an old man shouted in fear. Everyone suddenly realized why Xianxia was able to hide his killing evil dragon so well. No! No! When Ling Yanghong saw that Xianxia had injected the black mist into his body, he screamed miserably. Eh? Ling Yanghong let out a heart-wrenching scream as he tumbled crazily on the ground. The evil qi that Xianxia had released was not only able to pierce into his body, but also his soul. Many of the demons in the Fire Devil Valley were all people who killed people without thinking, while the Ling Yanghong in front of them was in so much pain that he crazily jumped up and down, and in the end directly died from the pain. Long Yu nodded her head in satisfaction. She suddenly started to admire Xianxia a little, and understood why first beast creation ancestor had to protect Xianxia. Old senior, Fire Devil Valley is yours now. Xianxia smiled at the fire demon. No 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 no. It's yours. I don't have the ability to protect Fire Devil Valley. The fire demon's face was filled with shame. He also had endless respect for Xianxia, who called him senior made him even more flattered. I won't stay here long, Xianxia said. I still need you to maintain my Fire Devil Valley in the future. All right. Thank you, little brother, for your help. Then he brought Xianxia and Long Yu to his cave residence. When they arrived at the entrance of the cave, there were still 2 members of the purple demon conglomerate guarding it, but they were easily killed by Xianxia. Entering the Fire Devil Cave, the fire demons took out many good things to entertain Xianxia and Long Yu. Back then, when Long Yu came to Fire Devil Valley, she had kept a low profile and did not see any fire demons. She only stayed here for a few months before leaving. Little brother, the medicine you used to treat me was not bad. I wonder if you have enough? Can you sell me some? The fire demon asked. You haven't signed a blood contract with the Hell Tablet? Long Yu was a little surprised. No, I might one day leave Hell too, the fire demon said. I have a lot of enemies up there. Those medicinal herbs are rebirth powders. I still have a lot here. Xianxia took out a large box and gave it to the fire demon. These are 10 million Tao Creation holy crystals. Is it enough? If it's not enough, I still have more. The fire demon quickly passed a storage bag to Xianxia. Enough. Xianxia smiled slightly. This is truly a good medicinal herb. Did you get it from the Medicine Creation Divine Continent? The fire demon opened it and was pleasantly surprised. I made it myself. Xianxia laughed. Fire demon and Long Yu were immediately shocked. They never thought that Xianxia knew how to refine pills. You must be the Medicine Creation Divine Continent's pill god. Why do you have enmity with others? Even if there is an enmity between us, we should not be forced to hide in hell. The fire demon asked in surprise. Senior fire demon, why are you hiding here? You seem to have been here a long time. Xianxia asked again. I offended someone from the initial God creation realm. I ran down there. If I appeared, they would immediately sense that someone was going to kill me. So I had no choice but to hide here until I managed to cultivate world-defying stage divine source. Fire demon sighed. Xianxia and Long Yu looked at each other. We were chased by the Golden Fire Arrogant Lord. Long Yu said, have you heard of the Golden Fire Arrogant Lord? What? You guys actually dared to offend someone like this? It's true that we can only hide in hell. How did you offend him? The fire demon was so shocked that it stood up from the chair. I crippled his grandson. Xianxia curled his lips. This isn't my fault. His grandson wanted to kill me first. He was very clear about the strength of the Golden Fire Arrogant Lord, but Xianxia actually crippled his grandson. Fire demon, is there a very safe place here? Long Yu asked. I haven't come to the infernal realm for many years, and before this, I didn't understand too much about the infernal realm either. You've been in it for so many years, you should know a lot about the infernal realm, right? Fire Devil Valley was not absolutely safe. If not, the purple demon group would not cause trouble here. There is a very suitable place for little brother to go to, and that is the Dan Devil City. There are many pill gods who are escaping to the infernal realm, but they now call themselves Dan Devil, and when everyone picks the herbs, they will sell them in Dan Devil City. The fire demon said, "All right, let's go to Dan Devil City." Long Yu said, "I'll leave now." After Xianxia bid farewell to the fire demon, he was dragged out of Fire Devil Valley by Long Yu and headed towards the Dan Devil City. Long Yu got the map from the fire demons and started to run frantically in accordance to the map. "Looks like the devils in hell aren't very powerful either," Xianxia said. Previously, Long Yu had said something fierce and warned Xianxia 100 times. "Humph. Even if you know how to forge pills, you still won't tell me. What level have you reached in your pill forging?" Long Yu had used rebirth powder before, so she was naturally clear about its effects. It was just that she didn't know that it was Xianxia who created it at that time. It's hard to say. In short, I was able to reach the divine origin chi stage because I ate my own pills to break through. I've always been eating my own pills to break through, Xianxia said. Long Yu snorted, being able to eat pills to cultivate and produce divine origin chi. This was the pinnacle of realms. She had never seen or heard of this kind of pill god. "You really have the confidence to cultivate the world-defying stage divine source?" Because Long Yu had been popular with the Storm and Purple Demon group earlier, she didn't want to stay in this damned place any longer. She wanted to leave quickly. Now that his hope was on Xianxia, if Xianxia managed to cultivate the world-defying stage divine source, then he would have enough strength to resist the Golden Fire arrogant lord. Of course there is. It's just that I haven't found the way to do it yet. Since there are medicinal ingredients in hell, then let's go to Dan Devil City to take a look first. Maybe we can find some pretty good ones. If not, then we can only think of other ways. Xianxia said. Long Yu now had confidence in Xianxia. After all, he was a pill god. "Xianxia, are you going to use the 9 keys to release first beast creation ancestor?" Long Yu said. "Yes, he promised me that he would let me cultivate the immortal body. That's why I wanted to save him." Xianxia laughed. "As long as he allows me to cultivate my indestructible physique, you can do whatever you want to him. There's no need for you to remind him. I'll definitely teach him a lesson when the time comes." Long Yu shouted in anger. "You were born a killing evil dragon?" Xianxia asked. "Yes. I am still relatively young. If not, Golden Fire arrogant lord would not be my match at all." Long Yu realized that when Xianxia looked at her, his eyes contained ridicule, and he shouted loudly. "You only have 1 killing evil dragon, so your strength is naturally weak." Xianxia laughed. "And I have 3. Your legendary mantra?" Long Yu had also seen Xianxia's clone before. "Yes. Do you want to learn?" Xianxia laughed. "Even if you give it to me, I don't know when I'll be able to learn it. I have already grasped a type of legendary mantra. If I were to learn the second type, I don't even know how long it would take." Long Yu snorted. "I can help you learn it quickly, around a month or so. If you really want to learn, we can make a deal." Xianxia said. "Really? How come I never knew about such things? If he could learn it faster with our beast creation race's blood sacrifice, wouldn't that be something like that?" "I don't want to learn it." Long Yu did not believe that it was true. "No, I just ate a rock. After that, I learned it. I myself mastered 3 legendary mantra. I can break through space and escape, that's one of them." Xianxia laughed. "If you didn't have something that I needed on you, I wouldn't even bother to tell you about it." Long Yu, who was running, immediately stopped and stared at Xianxia, asking, "What did you see on my body? You brat. You've been wanting to kill me from the beginning. I didn't have any ideas about you. At most, it would be a fair exchange. If you learn my doppelganger mantra, your strength will increase even more, and if you give me the thing, you wouldn't suffer much of a loss." Xianxia waved his hand and laughed. "How is your doppelganger mantra? I only know that I can clone. I don't know much else, so you can tell me first." Long Yu really wanted to master the doppelganger mantra. Xianxia told Long Yu the details of the doppelganger mantra. After hearing it, Long Yu felt that it was not bad and nodded slightly. "Okay, what do you want from me? I do have many good things, but I've never let you see them. Long Yu really wanted to know what treasure Xianxia was targeting her with. The scales on your body. Your scales seem to be very strong. I want to get some to make armor for you. Xianxia said, you are a killing evil dragon. Your dragon body is so big. Taking out 1 or 2 dragon scales would definitely not be a loss, right? It was because Xiao Xianglin wanted the scales on Long Yu's body. When Chen Xiang was fighting with Long Yu previously, he saw that the black scales surrounding Long Yu were extremely powerful and could absorb a lot of energy. I can give you 10 pieces, but each piece is very large. As long as you take 1 piece, you will be able to create a set of armor. Long Yu nodded his head. All these dragon scales fell off automatically, so there's no loss to me. It fell off automatically? Is there a guarantee of strength? Chen Xiang was a little worried. Don't worry, I won't screw you over. Long Yu had already taken out a piece of black dragon scale. Chen Xiang placed the dragon scale inside the Yu Yao mountain villa, and then said to Long Yu, wait. Xiao Xianglin examined the dragon scale, and after a moment, she nodded in satisfaction. These dragon scales will do. Xiao Xianglin handed over a doppelganger mantra soul stone to Chen Xiang. Is someone hiding in your divine sense sea world? Long Yu scoffed. You also don't want the dragon scale. My master wants it. Give me the remaining 9 dragon scales, and I'll give you the Paternoster soul stone. Chen Xiang opened up his palm, revealing that round doppelganger mantra soul stone in his hand. Long Yu took out 9 pieces of dragon scale and gave them to Chen Xiang. Then she obtained the Paternoster soul stone as well. Don't you dare mess with me. When Long Yu took over the Paternoster soul stone, she could only trust Chen Xiang. Try it and you will know. Once you have successfully grasped the Paternoster soul stone, we will head to the Dan Devil City. Chen Xiang said. Long Yu took out the time array and ate it inside. After Chen Xiang waited outside for an entire day, she finally came out from the time array. Although she was still cold at the moment, her charming and cold gaze could not conceal the joy in her heart. She had successfully grasped the doppelganger mantra, which was a huge improvement for her. If she were to face the golden fire arrogant lord now, she would definitely not be in such a sorry state. I've said it before, the Paternoster soul stone will not disappoint you. Chen Xiang laughed. Where did you get this Paternoster soul stone? I've lived for so long, but I've never heard of this kind of thing. If most ancient era wanted to make a ranking list for divine objects, your Paternoster soul stone would definitely be number 1. Long Yu was full of praise for the Paternoster soul stone. The Paternoster soul stone was refined by my master. She is a heavenly incantation master and also a refiner. Chen Xiang chuckled. Your dragon scales will also be refined by her, so it won't be long before I get a set of your armor. Your master actually doesn't concoct pills? Then who did you learn your pill refining skills from? Long Yu asked again. From what a wife like me learned. She's prettier and more charming than you. Chen Xiang was talking about Su Meiyao, and it was Su Meiyao who had led him into the Tao of alchemy back then. Humph! Long Yu was very unhappy. Although she always hid her face, she still cared a lot about her appearance. As long as she was a woman, most of them would not like it when someone said that she was not as beautiful as other women. Seeing Long Yu's angry look, Chen Xiang secretly rejoiced in his heart, because he felt that Long Yu had taken advantage of her, and the value of that Paternoster soul stone was far greater than her dragon scale. How strong is your master? It shouldn't be too bad, right? Long Yu asked. Since you have always been inside your divine sense sea world, why didn't you come out when you were fighting against him last time? She was much weaker than me, but she was very powerful when it came to refining and using incantations. At that time, she wanted to come up with something, but I refused. Chen Xiang said. Long Yu looked ahead. The sky was dark, and in the distance, clouds and mist appeared. She frowned. Let's continue on our journey. Hurry up and reach the Dan Devil City. What's wrong? Is something bad going to happen? Chen Xiang also saw the clouds in the sky. No, I am just worried that something else might happen. Although your strength is not weak, there are many things that happen frequently in the infernal realm. It is safer to enter the Dan Devil City as soon as possible. Long Yu was simply unable to protect Xianxia here, and she could not use her own world-defying stage divine source. There aren't many guys here who can beat me, right? Xianxia said. Indeed, there aren't many of them, but sometimes there will be some kind of natural disaster or similar power that would appear. Against such power, not to mention you, even someone like us who has cultivated to the level of world-defying stage divine source would find it difficult to survive. Long Yu was more worried that he would encounter such a thing. Is that really happening? Xianxia looked at the red clouds in the sky. Long Yu had already started to sprint. There are. And the reason why many who manage to cultivate world-defying stage divine source died in hell is because of these natural disasters. The skies above the infernal realm had always been grayish-white and hazy. However, more than half of the sky was covered with a faint red mist. It seemed to be gradually dyed red. It was an extremely strange sight. Xianxia and Long Yu had already sprinted for 2 days, and at this time, the red mist had already arrived above them. Miss Long Yu, what's going on? Xianxia was a little worried. If it was really what Long Yu had said about a natural disaster, it would definitely be filled with all kinds of dangers. I don't know. We need to increase our speed to get to the Dan Devil City. Long Yu felt that the Dan Devil City would definitely be safer, as the cities here also had enchantment incantations for defense. Although they had to pay a lot of fees to enter the city, they could be exchanged for a safe environment. In front of them was the Dan Devil City. When Xianxia and Long Yu reached the main city gate of the Dan Devil City, the city gate was already closed. Damn it, it's closed. Long Yu fiercely kicked the huge city gate twice. At this time, the blood mist in the air became even thicker and began to drip down. It was raining, but the rain was red. When the rain fell on Xianxia's body, he let out a scream. Ah! Xianxia jumped up, and the rain landed on his body, passing through his clothes and entering into his flesh. Black armor had already appeared on Long Yu's body as she took out a piece of dragon scale to shield Xianxia's head. We have to get in. I don't know what kind of strange rain this is, but if my armor continues to be drenched like this, I definitely won't be able to take it. Long Yu said. I wonder if we can hide in the depths? Xianxia said. This won't do. If the blood rain is too heavy, the blood water can seep deep into the ground. If it is soaked in the water, the consequences will be even worse. Long Yu scolded in a low voice. Truly evil. I've never heard of such a thing even though I've been in hell for such a long time. Yet now we've encountered it. Xianxia looked at the door and saw a crack, and said, I might be able to go in, but I can't bring you in. Why don't you enter my divine tool first? That's the only way. Long Yu entered Xianxia's 6 realms mirrors. Xianxia used the profound Feng mantra to turn himself into a gust of wind, and floated through the crack in the door. I still can't do it. This Dan Devil City's barrier is very strong. Even after I transform into the profound wind, I still can't penetrate it. After Xianxia turned into the wind and was drenched in blood, his body also felt very uncomfortable. Use the sky-shattering incantation, Xiao Xianglin said. Estimate the distance well, and when you sprint, use the sky-shattering incantation. When you enter the broken space, turn into a gust of wind. I can't guarantee the direction of the sky-shattering incantation, so I can only try it out and try my luck. Xianxia thought, and then followed Xiao Xianglin's instructions. He maintained a certain distance from Dan Devil City and then used the sky-breaking incantation. After shattering the space, he would use the profound Feng mantra and rush into the shattered space. We failed. Xianxia did not succeed in entering the Dan Devil City. He simply went back and forth while using the sky-breaking curse. Xianxia could only endure the pain and continue trying. Only after trying more than 10 times did he successfully enter the Dan Devil City. I'm finally in. Xianxia had already turned into a gust of wind, floating above the Dan Devil City. He came to an empty alley and let Long Yu out. Are you okay? When Long Yu came out and saw that Xianxia was exhausted, he asked anxiously. I'm fine. I've been soaked in that blood for too long. I've been injured, so I'll be fine after a short rest. Xianxia said, "Quickly, bring me to a quiet place." This was also the first time Long Yu came to the Dan Devil City. She supported Xianxia and quickly walked down the street, quickly finding an inn. She asked for a room and quickly brought Xianxia into it. Seeing how anxious she was, the waiters all chuckled. Long Yu was watching over Xianxia in the room. Xianxia was currently recuperating inside the time array, and after waiting for more than 2 hours, Xianxia came out from the time array. "I finally recovered. The blood is terrifying." Xianxia thought back to this and was secretly afraid in his heart. "If I were to be drenched in that heavy rain of blood for a long period of time, I would definitely die. This should be the natural disaster." Seeing that Xianxia was fine, Long Yu was a lot more relieved. She sat by the window looking down the street and said, "The enchantment of the Dan Devil City is truly powerful. To be able to resist this rain of blood, it seems that they had already considered this problem when they were building this city." What made her even more shocked was that Xianxia could actually enter the Dan Devil City from the outside. "Come, let's go out for a walk," Long Yu said. Xianxia and Long Yu walked out of the inn, and when they arrived outside, they discovered that the entire sky had turned blood red. The Dan Devil City was protected by a barrier, otherwise it would have been covered by the blood rain a long time ago. On the street, they could also hear many people talking. There must have been a lot of guys dying somewhere. Only by causing a bloodbath and killing would there be such a natural disaster. Don't make wild guesses. I feel like this is a calamity from hell. In short, we are fine now. When I first entered the Dan Devil City, I thought that giving the Tao Creation's sacred crystals was not worth it, but now it seems like it was really worth it. She and Xianxia looked at each other. They did not need any Tao Creation holy crystals to enter this place. Dan Devil City is really strong, to be able to create such a powerful barrier to protect the entire city. Xianxia said as he looked into the sky. "I wonder if there's really a powerful god of pills here." Long Yu felt that his understanding of hell was still too little, even though she came often. "We'll find out when we find out," Xianxia said. If it was not in hell, he would have released the mysterious body to investigate. There were indeed many fellows in the infernal realm who liked to devour spirit bodies. Moreover, they were extremely sensitive to spirit bodies, so if they were to be discovered, it would be difficult for the spirit bodies to escape. Long Yu and Xianxia asked some passers-by on the way. After half a day passed, they still did not find anything. "No one here is friendly," Xianxia curled her lips and said, and all of them were so cold and detached. This was different from when he was in the most ancient era. In the normal human world, although he could meet unfriendly and cold people, this was only a small number. "You have to be clear. This is hell," Long Yu said. "Seems like I can only use another method." She brought Xianxia to a hotel, asked for a private room, and ordered a lot of food. After that, she conveniently asked the waiter in charge of serving the dishes, gave him some Tao Creation divine crystals, and asked him about a lot of things. There were 4 most famous Dan Devils in the Dan Devil City, and all the people in the other cities had heard of this. These 4 apathetic pills were all very good, obtaining the recognition of many people. They all had pill shops here, and many people would sell them to these pill shops if they found medicinal ingredients outside. The recent matter made Tian Yu Dan Devil extremely happy, because he had obtained 2 Xinyuan crystal ginseng. As Long Yu gave the Tao Creation sacred crystal very readily, he was very willing to say more. "What is a Xinyuan crystal ginseng?" Xianxia asked anxiously. "I'm not too sure either. Rumor has it that it's a medicinal herb that can help people cultivate the world-defying stage divine source." The waiter thought for a moment and continued, "Oh right, according to the rumors, this place was created by a lot of people who cultivated and produced world-defying stage divine source after death. The Xinyuan crystal ginsengs are blood red all over, and are as tall as humans. Where did you get it from, Tian Yu Dan Devil?" Long Yu felt that as long as it was beneficial to his cultivation in the world-defying stage divine source, it would be beneficial to him. He bought it. However, the seller had reneged on his words. That seller was also very capable, so this matter caused quite a big ruckus. The waiter said, "They're still causing trouble now. If you don't believe me, you can go to Tianyu restaurant and take a look. Xianxia and Long Yu also did not eat the dishes they ordered, and directly gave them to the waiter, as they hurriedly rushed to Tianyu restaurant. Miss Long Yu, maybe we are not in a rush to get the Shenyuan crystal ginseng. We do not have the confidence to get it. Chen Xiang said anxiously. Moreover, there is still a dispute. Let's go over and take a look. I have a lot of Tao Creation's holy crystals. I should be able to buy them. Long Yu did not think that far. She seemed to be extremely confident in the large amount of Tao Creation holy crystals in her hands. Tianyu restaurant was pitch black. Moreover, the windows shined with a faint green light, giving off a very strange and deep feeling. Coupled with the fact that the sky was currently covered in blood-red clouds, it was even more frightening from a distance. There were many people standing outside of Tianyu restaurant. Some of them were sitting on chairs, completely blocking the entrance. Old Devil Tianyu, get the hell down here. Below, a yellow-haired old man sat on a black dragon throne and shouted, If you have the guts, then don't hide inside. Get the hell out here. Seeing this old man, Chen Xiang and Long Yu knew that he must be the owner of the 2 Shenyuan crystal ginseng that were tricked. The yellow-haired old man dared to block the exit of Tianyu restaurant, and even called Tianyu Dan Devil this. It could be seen that he himself had a certain level of strength. Master, what should we do? He's not coming out. The middle-aged man beside the yellow-haired old man said, his face full of anger. I will find a way to get him out of here. I'll give him another day. If you don't come out and chat with me, I'll go look for City Lord. The yellow-haired old man harumphed. We all concoct pills, yet you dare to scam me like this. Chen Xiang and Long Yu heard the discussions of the crowd and knew that the yellow-haired old man was also a Dan Devil. His name was Yellow Heaven Dan Devil. The relationship between the Yellow Heaven Pellet and Tianyu Dan Devil was pretty good. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil came to ask Tianyu Dan Devil about the 2 Shenyuan crystal ginseng because he did not recognize them, but Tianyu Dan Devil said that these were not good ingredients. After Tianyu Dan Devil obtained the Shenyuan crystal ginseng, Anai was unable to restrain the joy in her heart and freely announced this matter to her disciple. Afterwards, those disciples also could not keep their mouth shut and spread it to Yellow Heaven Dan Devil. When Yellow Heaven Dan Devil heard about it, he went into a rage and hurriedly gathered his men to head to Tianyu restaurant. When Tianyu restaurant found out that Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was coming, they hurriedly shut the door, which was why Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was blocking the door right now. Long Yu sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang and said, This Yellow Heaven Dan Devil has cultivated up a world-defying stage divine source, so this Tianyu Dan Devil must be the same. If it wasn't for the blood rain outside, this Tianyu Dan Devil would have released the power of the world-defying stage divine source and let the mysterious energy teleport him away. When 2 people who had cultivated world-defying stage divine source met with such a conflict in the midst of a blood rain from the natural disaster, they could only resolve it by cursing loudly. They did not dare to use the power of the divine origin realm, otherwise they would be teleported away. Everyone was happy to see such a thing happen. In any case, they couldn't leave this place, so it seemed like a good idea to relieve their boredom. Old Devil Tianyu, you old thing, get out here right now. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil roared, his voice covering half of the Dan Devil city. Seeing this situation, Long Yu didn't know how to help Chen Xiang get the Shenyuan crystal ginseng. Actually, the Shenyuan crystal ginseng's effects are only average and are far from as exaggerated as the rumors say. Chen Xiang suddenly thought of something and walked out. Kid, what do you mean? When the Yellow Heaven Dan Devil heard this, he was unhappy. Everyone felt it was strange seeing someone say that to the Yellow Heaven Dan Devil, so they all looked down. What is the main use of Shenyuan crystal ginseng? Chen Xiang asked. Of course it's to cultivate the world-defying stage divine source. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil snorted. And what is the basis for cultivating the world-defying stage divine source? Chen Xiang asked again. Naturally, it is to cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil continued. Shenyuan crystal ginseng can release a large amount of world-defying stage divine source qi, which is helpful for cultivation in the world-defying stage divine source. Since you can release a large amount of world-defying stage divine source qi, then why haven't you sensed it, Senior Huang Tian? Xianxia said. Senior Huang Tian is a famous Dan devil in the infernal realm. If even you are unable to sense the power within the Xinyuan crystal ginseng, then how would Tian Yu Dan devil know about it? Does his strength far surpass yours? Yellow Heaven Dan devil thought for a moment, then said, but why did he take it as a treasure? Is there something wrong with him? Xianxia laughed. The Xinyuan crystal ginseng does have a certain amount of world-defying stage divine source qi, but it is not as strong as what the rumors say, and I have even better ingredients here. I only need to eat 2 of these herbs to be able to help me cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi. Don't speak nonsense. I know that there are pills that can help a person cultivate the divine origin qi, but it's absolutely impossible for a person to cultivate the divine origin qi just by eating 2 pills. You're also a person who can cultivate the divine origin qi, so you should know how difficult it is to gather a strand of the divine origin qi. Yellow Heaven Dan devil's words made many people nod their heads repeatedly. Many people here were only within the peak of world-defying magic realm, and it was difficult for them to cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi. Although the brat is young, I have never lied to him. I myself consumed this pill to help me break through. If you need help with breaking through, I can sell you 2 pills. You can try using time arrays on the spot, and if it really has the effect that I mentioned, it won't be too late for you to pay me. It won't be any loss for you guys. What Xianxia said moved the Yellow Heaven Dan devil's heart. Long Yu was just watching by the side. She did not know what Xianxia was going to do, and she did not believe that Xianxia could cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi after consuming 2 pills. Xianxia only managed to cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi by refining leaves, and after he obtained the heavenly tree holy fruit, he gave 2 pills to Xiao Xianglin, which helped her break through successfully. Alright, if it's really as you say, then that Xinyuan crystal ginseng is probably only this much. But before that, can you let me see the medicinal ingredients you used to refine pills? Yellow Heaven Dan devil was also very obsessed with alchemy. If he could see the herbs, he could roughly guess. Xianxia took out a purple fruit. He pinched a large amount of the purple fire tree holy fruit, letting it emit waves after waves of weak divine origin energy, shocking everyone. None of the people from the infernal realm had the chance to see the divine tree holy fruit, so none of them knew it. Such a strong divine origin energy. It is indeed much better than Xinyuan crystal ginseng S. What fruit is this? Yellow Heaven Dan devil was suddenly very curious about Xianxia's origins. Ziyuan's spiritual fruit. Xianxia randomly made up a name, and then took out 2 pellets. These are Ziyuan's refined with Ziyuan spiritual fruit. I only have 1 Ziyuan spiritual fruit with me. If Senior likes it, we can discuss the price privately. Of course, these 2 pellets can also be given to Senior. The price is negotiable. Let's go. The Yellow Heaven Dan devil had his eyes on the Ziyuan spiritual fruit. At least he looked a lot better than it. He had been fiddling with the Xinyuan crystal ginseng for a long time and was unable to react to any kind of divine qi. But the moment the fruit in Xianxia's hand appeared, a burst of divine origin energy dispersed outwards, which was very shocking. Just as Yellow Heaven Dan devil was about to bring Xianxia away, the doors of Tianyu restaurant opened. Tianyu Dan devil had finally come out. When the Yellow Heaven Dan devil saw Tianyu Dan devil coming out, he mocked, "What are you doing out here? I don't need your Xinyuan crystal ginseng anymore." Tianyu Dan devil snorted, looked at Xianxia and said, "Your Ziyuan Dan may not even have the best. You just want to take this opportunity to deceive Yellow Heaven Dan devil." Yellow Heaven Dan devil angrily said, "Old demon Tianyu, do you think you have the face to say that? Do you think everyone is as shameless as you? Old demon Huang, you and I were the one who gave it to each other. Who else can you blame? Blame it on your ignorance. I am only advising you. Do not be fooled anymore. Although Ziyuan spiritual fruit can release a very dense divine aura, it might not be a good thing." The Tianyu Dan devil sneered. "You are jealous that I am able to purchase the Ziyuan spiritual fruit. Pfft. Stop trying to confuse us here. I don't believe you," the Yellow Heaven Dan devil said. Tian Yudan Devil, if you truly feel that the Ziyuan spiritual fruit is not good enough, then can the Shenyuan crystal ginseng refine 2 pills so that people can cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi? Xianxia smiled slightly. The Ziyuan Dan I use the Ziyuan spiritual fruit S to refine can allow the people from the peak of world-defying magic realm to cultivate divine origin qi. I don't know, because I haven't refined a Shenyuan crystal ginseng yet. The Tian Yudan Devil snorted. I don't believe that your Ziyuan Dan can help others break through. Words are useless. Little brother, you just said that you want to sell the Ziyuan Dan, right? Yellow Heaven Dan Devil stood on Xianxia's side. Yes, Xianxia nodded. All right, I'll buy 2 crystals for my disciple. How about 100 million Tao Creation holy crystals? The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. Deal. Xianxia still had a lot of Ziyuan spiritual fruit S, and Mei Jing sisters and the rest could copy them too, so they did not care about the Ziyuan Dan at all, not to mention the 100 million Tao Creation holy crystals was not low. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil bought 2 pills, called over a young man, and told him to eat them on the spot. Finally, he entered the time array. Wait a minute and we'll know if it's true or not. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil had already given the Tao Creation's divine crystal to Xianxia, which proved that he trusted Xianxia greatly. Tian Yudan Devil watched from the side. If 2 Ziyuan Dan S were really able to help someone cultivate world-defying stage divine source qi, then it proved that the Ziyuan spiritual fruit was indeed better than the Shenyuan crystal ginseng. At the very least, he was not confident that he could use 2 Shenyuan crystal ginseng S to refine a pill that could help people cultivate divine origin qi. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil's time array was not bad, and after waiting for half a day, the man inside came out, his face full of excitement. Master, I've cultivated the divine origin qi. It seems like there is no need to doubt the effectiveness of the Ziyuan Dan. Little brother, I'll take your Ziyuan spiritual fruit. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil laughed and said, 50 million Tao Creation holy crystals is a fruit after all, and I still need to plant it when I bring it back. The Shenyuan crystal ginseng I sold to old demon Tianyu previously was only worth 20 million Tao Creation holy crystals each, so it should be worth 50 million. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was considered rich. The 2 pills he bought from Xianxia previously cost 100 million, and now he had taken out 50 million. Sure. Xianxia nodded. Wait, Tian Yudan Devil hurriedly said, little brother, you are probably lacking a lot of Tao Creation's holy crystals, right? I will buy your Tao Creation's divine crystal for 60 million. After Xianxia heard it, he purposely revealed a difficult expression. But Senior Huang Tian and I agreed to 70 million, the Tian Yudan Devil said. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil's face was extremely ugly. He angrily said, Old demon Tianyu, what is the meaning of this? Do you want to compete with me in medicinal herbs? The highest bidder gets it. The Tian Yudan Devil sneered. 80 million. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil bellowed. Follow me if you dare. Tian Yudan Devil clenched his teeth and said, Old demon Huang, how about this? I return the original price of the Shenyuan crystal ginseng to you. Don't argue with me. 2 Shenyuan crystal ginseng S were much more effective than 1. You spent 100 million Tao Creation holy crystals to buy 2 Ziyuan Dan. Now you're spending another 80 million? Don't think that just because you're angry you're going to lose a lot of blood. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil took a few deep breaths and was thinking about it. Just now, he was just as impulsive as the 2 Ziyuan Dan that he had spent 100 million on were worth it. At the very least, if his disciple cultivated his divine origin qi, it would be of great help to him in the future. But buying a Ziyuan spiritual fruit for 80 million wasn't worth it. Just as Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was thinking about it, Xianxia sent a sound transmission to Yellow Heaven Dan Devil. Senior Huang Tian, you promised him. Actually, I still have several Ziyuan spiritual fruit. I did this all for him to return them to you. Shenyuan crystal ginseng will definitely not be that bad. Let's talk about it later. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was shocked and immediately cooperated with Xianxia. Fine, I'll let you win, the Yellow Heaven Dan Devil pretended to say. That's right. Tian Yudan Devil took out the Shenyuan crystal ginseng and handed it over to Yellow Heaven Dan Devil while chuckling. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil also returned the Tao Creation's divine crystals obtained from selling the Shenyuan crystal ginseng back to Tian Yu Dan Devil. Little brother, I'll buy your Zun spiritual fruit with 50 million. The Tian Yu Dan Devil laughed. Didn't you just say 70 million? Chun Xiang frowned. That was an auction just now, but now Elder Huang has already left. The Tian Yu Dan Devil said. Then I'm not selling. Chun Xiang pretended to be angry. That won't do, you already said 50 million to Huang Tian. Why aren't you willing to sell it to me now? This is not right. Tian Yu Dan Devil gave a signal to the people around him to surround Chun Xiang. Little brother, just sell it. It's not selling who you want to sell. Right now, due to the natural calamities and the blood rain, if you wish to stay in Dan Devil City peacefully, you'd better cooperate with us. An old man said. He was a person of Tianyu restaurant. Chun Xiang clenched his teeth and said, Okay, give me the Tao Creation's holy crystal. Tian Yu Dan Devil gave the Tao Creation divine crystal to Chun Xiang, then happily received the Zun spiritual fruit. As expected, he's better than the Shenyuan crystal ginseng. Tian Yu Dan Devil laughed. I must plant it properly and plant a fruit tree. Chun Xiang snickered in his heart. What would happen if he could grow it? After all, it was the fruit of a purple fire tree, and if it really was grown, who knew how long it would take before it would take to bear its fruit? Little brother, thank you so much for selling me the Zun Dan. Why don't you come to my yellow sky tower? Yellow Heaven Dan Devil pulled Chun Xiang and laughed. All right, I'll also discuss the Pill Dao with Senior Huang Tian. Chun Xiang nodded, and then beckoned with his hand. Long Yu gasped in surprise at the side. Chun Xiang had brought back the Shenyuan crystal ginseng, and he even had a strong Dan Devil. When Tian Yu Dan Devil said that he would buy Chun Xiang's fruits for 70 million, she went back on her word and even forced Chun Xiang to sell him the Zun spiritual fruit. Therefore, he didn't invite Chun Xiang to enter Tianyu restaurant since he often did such shameless things, and it was normal for him to take it for granted. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil brought Chun Xiang back to the Yellow Sky Tower impatiently. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil and Chun Xiang were in a secret living room. As he poured tea for Chun Xiang, and he also laughed loudly. Little brother, you're really amazing. To think that old Devil Tianyu was forced back by a Shenyuan crystal ginseng. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil laughed. To be honest, I'm an alchemist. That's why I'm very interested in all kinds of rare and precious medicinal ingredients. So I also want a Shenyuan crystal ginseng. Chun Xiang laughed. I wonder if Senior Huang Tian can give me one? Didn't you send me a sound transmission saying that you have quite a few Zun spiritual fruit? How about you trade one with me? I'm very interested in all kinds of medicinal herbs. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. Of course Chun Xiang was happy. He anxiously took out a Zun spiritual fruit. Little brother, compared to my Shenyuan crystal ginseng, which one do you think is better? You must tell the truth. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. I have to touch the Shenyuan crystal ginseng before I know. Chun Xiang said. I've never even seen it before, but according to the descriptions in the rumors, I can deduce that the Shenyuan crystal ginseng should be not bad. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil took out a Shenyuan crystal ginseng and gave it to Chun Xiang. The Shenyuan crystal ginseng was indeed huge, and even taller than Chun Xiang. Its entire body was a blood-red colored crystal, and it was extremely sturdy, yet it was even heavier. It's really big, Chun Xiang exclaimed. Even though I didn't sense any aura, there's definitely a lot of energy contained within. But if I use my divine sense to investigate, I won't be able to find any energy within. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been tricked by that old demon Tianyu. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was suspicious. Is this Shenyuan crystal ginseng really not bad? It's really quite good. Let me tell you honestly, when compared to my Zun spiritual fruit, I need at least 50 Zun spiritual fruit to match up to this one. Chun Xiang was only judging it based on his experience. If it was shown to He Fengyuan, he would be able to see the specific value of Shenyuan crystal ginseng S. Is this for real? But I can't detect the energy inside. I've been refining pills for many years and have seen many strange medicinal herbs, but I've never seen one like this before, the Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. Not just Yellow Heaven Dan Devil, Even Tian Yudan Devil cannot clearly know the value of Xinyuan crystal ginseng. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been swindled back by Xianxia. The main reason is that the medicinal ingredients themselves have already condensed into extremely high-quality crystals. Normally, when they reach this point, they would not release any aura and would even restrain themselves. When you release your spiritual sense in, it should have been quickly absorbed by the Xinyuan crystal ginseng. Xianxia laughed. Senior Huang Tian. Looks like I have to pay the difference in price. No need, no need. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil hurriedly said. If it wasn't for you, I would never know the true value of Xinyuan crystal ginseng, and it would be even more impossible to take it back. Truthfully, I can only curse at least a year and a half in front of Tianyuan. If old demon Tianyu won't return it to me, then there's nothing I can do about it. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was still very generous. He still had a Xinyuan crystal ginseng in his hands, which was enough for him to use for collection. Senior Huang Tian, actually refining a Ziyuan Dan is not only required for that. Xianxiang laughed. I will need some other medicinal ingredients to assist me. Other than that, I need a good world-defying Dan grain. Xianxiang took out the other medicinal ingredients and gave them to the Yellow Heaven Dan Devil. That's pretty good. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil laughed and said, Old demon Tianyu is very cunning. He always likes to cheat others. He has finally fallen this time. When Tianyu Dan Devil bought the Ziyuan spiritual fruit, he would definitely need to go back and grow it, so he would not start using it to refine pills anytime soon. Even if he went to concoct pills, he would not be able to find any problems, and he might not even succeed in the blink of an eye. Long Yu secretly admired Qin Xiang. Although she didn't understand the Dan Devil S here, she knew that those who could be called Dan Devil S were all high-level Alchemist S in the infernal realm. And right now, Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was extremely courteous to Qin Xiang. From this, it could be seen that Qin Xiang's level was definitely not any lower than Yellow Heaven Dan Devil's. Please enjoy your tea. I suddenly remember that I have something to take care of. I'll be back soon. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil left in a hurry. On the other hand, Qin Xiang took the chance to give the Xinyuan crystal ginseng to He Fengyuan to study now. Since He Fengyuan had a better understanding of the situation, she would join hands with Mei Jing sisters and the others to plant it. Qin Xiang, can you use the Xinyuan crystal ginseng to cultivate the world-defying stage divine source? Long Yu asked in a low voice. Yes. Qin Xiang was very sure, because he was very clear on the world-defying stage divine source's power contained within. That's good. Long Yu nodded his head. Looks like we won't stay here for long. I also want to go up quickly. Qin Xiang wasn't used to the environment of the infernal realm, although he was safe here. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil returned not long after. How annoying! Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said unhappily as he returned to drink his tea. What's wrong? Tianyu Dan Devil is here to cause trouble? Qin Xiang was worried about this. Not him. It's those few Dan Devil S who have come to cause trouble for me. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said with an unhappy expression. What trouble? Could it be that they already know the value of Xinyuan crystal ginseng? You came to ask for it? Qin Xiang said. It's not about the Xinyuan crystal ginseng. The main thing is that when we were building the Dan Devil city back then, I made an agreement with the other 3 Dan Devil S that whenever there was a natural disaster, we would have to conduct a competition here. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said, now that the blood rain of the natural disaster has arrived, we have to fulfill our agreement. What kind of competition will it be? Qin Xiang was actually very interested in this. The conditions for the pill forging competition are very harsh. If you were to lose, the consequences would be severe. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil sighed. I really shouldn't have agreed to it back then. What will happen if I lose? Long Yu asked. The loser needs to give their pill house to the winner for 1,000 years. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil replied, I hate things like this the most. I've only lost twice. Huang Tian Tower was a place for Yellow Heaven Dan Devil to earn holy crystals. If they were to give up this place for 1,000 years, it would truly be a great loss. Old Devil Tianyu. He always wins. Sometimes we even tied. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said, we are about to begin. I do not wish to participate. We can make them change their way of playing, for example. Just lose a portion of the Tao Creation's divine crystals. Xianxia said, this pressure won't be too great. If the entire heavenly yellow tower were to be used for 1,000 years, it would truly make him unhappy. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil did not have much confidence in his own strength. It would give him a lot of pressure. I wonder if they agree, the Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. What if he doesn't participate? Xianxia asked. If they don't participate, they will join hands and destroy my yellow sky tower. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said, I'll go talk to them. See if I can convince them to change the method of defeat. Xianxia also wanted to participate in the competition, but he didn't have any good excuses. Senior Huang Tian, let me go talk to them with you. Xianxia replied, maybe I can convince them. All right, let's go. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was relatively optimistic about Xianxia and immediately agreed. Then he brought Xianxia and Long Yu downstairs. When they were walking down the stairs, Yellow Heaven Dan Devil told Xianxia and Long Yu that the Dan Devils were currently gathered at the Scorching Sun Tower, which was also Burning Sun Dan Devil's territory. The Dan Devil city was not very big, so they quickly arrived at the Scorching Sun Tower. Arriving at one of the guest rooms upstairs, Xianxia saw Tian Yu Dan Devil. Other than that, he also saw Burning Sun Dan Devil and his son. Burning Sun Dan Devil was a handsome middle-aged man and Smoke Charming was a woman. However, her face was covered by a white veil and it was not possible to see what she looked like. After carefully observing them, Xianxia discovered that Long Yu and Smoke Charming were actually looking at each other. Although Long Yu was wearing a mask and Smoke Charming was wearing a white veil, they seemed to be extremely interested in each other. Long Yu was wearing a mask and was wrapped in black armor. If she didn't speak, she wouldn't have known that she was a girl. But why was Smoke Charming so interested in her? Huang Tian, why did you bring this little brother here? Tian Yu Dan Devil laughed. I didn't think you guys would be familiar to this extent. You guys sure are fast. Huang Tian said, he's my friend, so it's fine if I bring him here. I also didn't make it a secret, so you can also bring people here. I don't object. Huang Tian, it seems like you do not wish to participate in this competition. Actually, it's fine if you admit defeat. Just wait until the three of us come to a decision. Then you can hand over this matter to the one who won. Burning Sun Dan Devil laughed out loud. Anyway, you might lose. Why not compete with me? After all these years, I have always been sending people to and from the Pill Pavilion. I feel that it's not much fun. How about we just bet a large amount of Tao Creation's sacred crystals? The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. If you can't afford it, you can at least pay in years, which is better than giving up Pill Tower for 1,000 years. If you take away my Pill Tower for 1,000 years, you might not even be able to earn that much Tao Creation divine crystals, and you might even need to take care of it. I don't think so. The Smoke Charming's gentle voice carried a trace of charm. Why not? The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. Because I do not lack Tao Creation's divine crystals. I only want to occupy a pill house after winning. I feel very happy about this. The Smoke Charming laughed softly. Indeed. I also feel that winning 3 pill buildings is a great thing, ha ha ha. Burning Sun Dan Devil laughed. That's why it's still the old rule. Tian Yu Dan Devil laughed. Elder Huang, did you bring your friend here just to see you make a fool of yourself? The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil was very angry, but he had no other choice. He looked at Xianxia, hoping that he could come up with an idea. I don't think that winning someone else's pill pavilion will bring me any improvement. Xianxia suddenly spoke out. During the competition, one can stimulate the pill refining level, and after winning, it's best if one could improve his level a little. Then tell me, the Burning Sun Dan Devil said. I think we should play like this. If we lose, we have to contribute a pill formula to the final winner. Xianxia laughed. Isn't this kind of play very exciting? I think it's good. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil immediately said. We have a lot of pill formulas at our disposal, and we have always wanted to obtain the other party's pill formulas. How about we just compete like this? They had also thought about betting on the pill formulas. If they lost once or twice, it wouldn't be a problem. If he won, he would be able to obtain 3 types of pill formulas. Even if he won the pill pavilion, it would only be 1,000 years. If he won the pill formula, it would be a lifetime's worth. If it's just a pill formula, then I want to participate as well. I have a pill called the Extreme Heaven Pill, which can allow people in the legendary realm to progress by leaps and bounds. Xianxia said as he took out a few pills and distributed them to them. You guys can try out the effects of this pill. Even if you manage to cultivate world-defying stage divine source, you'll be able to sense it. You guys are afraid of the poison. I'll eat first, Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. Then he ate it. After the other 3 Dan Devils saw this, they also ate it. The high-quality Extreme Heaven Pill was said to be able to allow a person to take 2 or 3 pills to reach the peak of world-defying stage legendary rank, and the difficulty of refining it wasn't too high either. Not bad, the Tian Yu Dan Devil said. In the infernal realm, the Dan Devil city was rather famous. Many evil villains often came here to buy pills, but none of them possessed pills like the Extreme Heaven Pill. Alright, you can join. Tian Yu Dan Devil nodded in agreement. He also wanted to get this pill formula very much. Soon after, Burning Sun Dan Devil and Smoke Charming also agreed. As for our pill formulas, you can rest assured that they won't be that bad. The competition will begin 3 days from now, and the location will be the Dan Devil Arena in the middle of the Dan Devil Plaza. The Burning Sun Dan Devil said. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil, Chun Xiang and Long Yu left for Yellow Heaven Tower. Great. I only lost the pill formula. In any case, I have quite a few pill formulas that I can lose. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil laughed. Senior Huang Tian, you have some confidence. Chun Xiang didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Those fellows are too amazing. Although I defeated them, that was all luck. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil shook his head. If you win this time's competition, I won't mind giving you the pill formulas. Are their pill formulas really that good? Chun Xiang asked. It must be very good. They all love face, so they definitely won't take any poor pill formulas. After all, they all hope that the other party's pill formulas are better. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. You'll know when the time comes. It's already late, you should go rest. Chun Xiang and Long Yu stayed in the Huang Tian Tower and arranged 2 luxurious rooms for them. At night, Long Yu went to Chun Xiang's room. Miss Long Yu, what are you doing here in the middle of the night? Chun Xiang chuckled. Don't think too much. I just want to talk to you about something. Long Yu scoffed. What is it? Chun Xiang laid on the bed and did not get up. Furthermore, there was still an empty space beside his bed. As if wanting Long Yu to lie down, Long Yu walked over and sat down beside the bed. He crossed his arms over his chest and asked, Have you seen Smoke Charming? I saw her. She seems to be a very coquettish woman. Chun Xiang laughed. I know her, Long Yu said. She should have recognized me. Your friend. Chun Xiang anxiously sat up and asked. To his surprise, it was someone that Long Yu recognized. My mortal enemy, and she has a great background. Long Yu snorted. This woman is not simple, you have to be careful of her. She has also cultivated the world-defying stage divine source. What can she do to me? Besides, there's you here. Chun Xiang wasn't too worried. Long Yu's sworn enemy was a pill refiner, which made Chun Xiang curious. What exactly do you have against her? Is it the kind that doesn't give up until one dies? Chun Xiang laughed. Or did she steal your man? Pooey. With her ability, how could she be qualified to fight with me for a man? Long Yu rolled his eyes at Chun Xiang. It's mainly because this woman and I were in the same squad that went to explore the dangerous areas of the infernal realm. Because I'm stronger, I managed to obtain more things in the end. And then you started fighting? Chun Xiang had already guessed the outcome. That's right, I had a fight with her after asking her out of hell. In the end, it was a draw. Long Yu was very dissatisfied with such an outcome. This means that the Smoke Charming is quite strong. His alchemy skills are not bad, and his own strength is also very strong. Chun Xiang said. What, you like her? You like this kind of woman too? Long Yu said unhappily. Of course not. Chun Xiang curled his lips. She's only a little stronger than me in cultivation. If we compare notes in pill refining, she might not be able to win against me. That's true. You have to defeat her. Long Yu snorted. If you lose to her, I'll never look down on you. I still don't know the contents of the competition. I have to go and ask Senior Huang Tian when it's daybreak. Xianxia suddenly thought of this. 6. It was already dawn. When Xianxia walked out of his room, he immediately went to find Yellow Heaven Dan Devil. Only until noon did Yellow Heaven Dan Devil return. Senior Huang Tian, I have something to ask you. Xianxia asked after the Yellow Heaven Dan Devil returned. I'm going to the Scorching Sun Tower. The Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. I'm going to discuss the specifics of the competition, but I feel like there's no use in me going, because I have nothing to do with it. I was going to ask you about the details of the competition. Xianxia laughed. You wouldn't be going to discuss this with them, right? That's what you mean. This competition was held under the responsibility of the Burning Sun Dan Devil. He invited me to the Scorching Sun Tower to have a chat, but after we arrived, he said a lot of crap and made me come back. As for the details of the rules, that's his problem. He hasn't decided anything yet. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil said. As for how it is, we can only wait until the competition to find out. Then, have you seen the Smoke Charming? Xianxia asked again. Strange. I really haven't seen her before. Old Demon Tianyu, and the Burning Sun Dan Devil are all here. The only one missing is her. Yellow Heaven Dan Devil asked in shock. How did you know she wasn't here? I'm just asking. Xianxia said casually. I'm going back to my room. Previously, when Long Yu left Huang Tian Tower, although he did not say where he was going, Xianxia knew that he was going to find the Smoke Charming. I hope Long Yu will not cause any trouble, Xianxia thought. He Fengyuan had already gotten hold of the Xinyuan Crystal Ginseng for a period of time. She was certain that the Shenyuan Crystal Ginseng contained a large amount of world-defying stage divine source power, and was currently going to duplicate it with the Meijing sisters. Sijing, how are you doing? Can you copy it? Asked. The use of Shenyuan Crystal Ginseng was very large. If they could not copy it, it would be a pity. It can be, but it will definitely consume a lot of the Tao Creation's sacred crystals. Jiang Sijing said. Copying these medicinal ingredients that contain a lot of energy required them to consume the Tao Creation's divine crystals, and they also had to use the time arrays to do so. How many Tao Creation's holy crystals do I need? Xianxia asked. A single Shenyuan Crystal Ginseng would require around 50 million Tao Creation holy crystals to make 2. Jiang Sime said. You still have 150 million Tao Creation holy crystals. That's only enough for 3. Xianxia had also used up a lot of his Tao Creation sacred crystals, so he used Xiao Xianglin to refine armor. The demand for the Tao Creation's sacred crystals is getting higher and higher. Xianxia sighed. Looks like I have to earn a little more Tao Creation's holy crystals. Well, we'll make 2 copies for you for now. He Fengyuan said. After replicating the Shenyuan Crystal Ginseng, you will not be able to start refining the pills. You will need other medicinal ingredients to complement it. Since He Fengyuan could match the pill formulas, Xianxia would also listen to her. She was wearing a mask. If not, Xianxia would definitely be able to see something from her expression. You went to see the Smoke Charming? Xianxia said while grinning. What's so funny about that? Long Yu's tone was very cold, and you could tell that she was unhappy just by hearing it. You guys are all people who have cultivated world-defying stage divine source. If you really want to fight, then you should be like hooligans. Xianxia laughed. He had only started laughing when he thought of this scene. Don't think too much. Long Yu snorted. What happened to you? Speak up and cheer me up. Xianxia laughed. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have gone to look for Smoke Charming. Long Yu said. Because I'm going to look for her. She wants to defeat you even more. Even if I fail, I'll only give her a pill formula. I didn't lose anything, Xianxia said. He did not give the world-defying Dan Grain any pill formulas. Huajing Dan Grain were the most precious. He would not casually gamble with them. I told her you were my man, Long Yu said again. How can you speak nonsense about this sort of thing? You are ruining my good name. Xianxia panicked. What is it? Am I not worthy of you? Long Yu said coldly. Not really. The main thing is that there's no such thing as a relationship between the two of us. Xianxia did not want others to feel that he had this kind of relationship with Long Yu. I don't care, what do you mind? Long Yu took off his mask and said indifferently. Of course I mind. I'm a man who has a wife. It won't be good if it gets to my wife. Xianxia curled his lips. Actually, this was a casual reason. Don't you go around talking about it next time. Xianxia warned again. Being so close to the beast creation race emperor, it was not good to spread the news. Humph! Long Yu snorted. In any case, you have to win against that bitch Smoke Charming. You're my man now, you absolutely cannot lose to that bitch. Xianxia finally understood that the reason Long Yu went to look for Dan Devil was to brag about the powerful man who concocted pills beside her. Due to the restrictions here, she could not casually fight. All right, I'm your man now. Let's sleep together. Xianxia curled his lips and said, Scram! Long Yu glared at him, then walked out of Xianxia's room. Xiao Xianglin laughed in the Yu Yao mountain villa. You got flaunted by her. It seems that the powerful alchemist has a very high position in her heart. Furthermore, she has always been jealous of Dan Devil for his superior pill refining skills.